Welcome back to a playoff edition of All 22, taking a look back at the Packers-Cowboys game, and hopefully that helps us out as we get ready for the San Francisco 49ers on Saturday night. Obviously, a lot of good plays to kind of go over to. Here are the 5 that I came up with. We start in the first quarter here. This ends up being a big play, kind of sets the tone a little bit, where Love finds Romeo Doubs. And there was kind of a lot of this stuff kind of going on for the Packers where they were just rolling and feeling really good about, how Love was handling pressure and things like that. So let's just kind of take a look at one of their first big plays of the game.
Okay, just a balanced set, 2x2, good protection. He just does a great job finding the hole. He slow plays it, which is nice. I believe that was Kraft that was clearing it out. Dallas is in zone. It's just a great job. But the thing that makes this play is Love had such a long time to throw the ball. He does a nice job scrambling here and delivers it perfectly. This is my fear for this upcoming week, Gabe, against San Francisco, because they dominated the middle of the field. Evidence right here. I'm sure San Francisco is going to be prepared for that. That's why I talked on the show this week. They may have to go to the outside.
I mean, Zach Tom, obviously, he's on an island against Micah Parsons, does a really good job. Parsons, obviously, not even the one who gets the pressure there before Love has to give it up to Dobbs. So I know that Zach Tom is somebody we've talked about this week on the show of he's got to be important because he's going up against, you can see a better view of Tom here, because he's going to be really important against Bosa.
He is, and San Francisco's D-line may be a little bit better than Dallas's just from a depth standpoint. The key to the game coming up will be protecting with 5 guys. Getting guys out, that puts a lot of stress on the defense, and that's going to be important. Zach Tom is going to be a focal point of this game. If he can handle Bosa, I feel really good about their chances. If he's going to need help throughout the game, that's going to be a little tougher on Jordan and the receivers out there.
This is another play, shockingly, in the middle of the field, ends up being a touchdown to Dontavian Wicks. A play where he ends up going, he knows pressure is coming. Jordan Love adjusts the protection and ends up getting a 20-yard touchdown out of it.
Red zone, it's an empty backfield. They got trips to the right. Great speed. The big thing here is speed. The underneath, I think that's Jaden Reed, the underneath guy. Look at how quick he is. Now, the only thing I would say is you're still a viable receiver. If something did happen to Wicks, he needs to break that flat.
Okay. Kind of takes it up the field a little too much.
Sure, it worked out, but the coaching point with that is, what if Wicks falls down or something? You're the next man up. So don't bow that deep. Break it flat to the line to keep the defender from undercutting that. That would be my only critique. Let me just look at Wicks one more time. Can you go to the wide view?
Yep.
I mean, this is just called the skinny post right here. Does a nice job selling it. Makes a good play on it. The only thing I would talk about there, Gabe, is the stutter at the top of the route. Try not to lose speed. If you go back, look how he loses speed a little bit. Just make that a little more fluid. And you got all that room to the outside to sell it whatever way. You see that little breakdown there?
Yeah.
And he loses a little speed. Try and do away with that.
Would it be easier just to kind of maybe he takes a couple of stutter steps, just kind of one step to the outside and then come?
What I was always taught, Gabe, is when you have a defender on the outside of you, you want him eventually to turn his hips away from where you're going. So I would initially start this wide. No, sorry. I would initially start this narrow, bend it wide to hopefully get him to turn his hips like you're running a corner route and then bust it back inside. But it just has to be a little more fluid.
The lone defensive play. I want to take a look at the pick six that Darnell Savage had, because this was obviously a huge play that ended up busting the game wide open. What did the Packers do defensively here to end up kind of, more or less kind of tricking Dak Prescott into making this throw?
Well, I think this was at a point of the game where the two are already frustrated with one another, and it's a great job by Joe Barry just kind of disguising this coverage. Because when you see players, a quarterback and a receiver, being frustrated by what the defense is doing, you know that quarterback is going to try to force the ball in there, which they do. The throw is really to the slot guy. Watch the slot guy on the inside. That's really the throw. But like I said, at this point in time, look at the slot.
Yeah.
See that? See how he comes off him? That's just a great play by Savage. The throw was to them. But when you get players, quarterbacks frustrated with your star receiver, you know he's going to force it. That's what he did there. It was a bad play by Dak Prescott, but give Savage and the defense a ton of credit because this was a huge play in the game. This put the nail in the coffin.
The Cowboys were on the move here. You know, it's a 20-0 game. Cowboys score here, 20-7, get the ball starting the second half. I think it has a different feel. And the Cowboys ended up putting the ball in the end zone at the end of the first half to make it 27-7. But 20-7 is so much different than 27-7.
But go back to that tight view again. Look at number 3 pop here. I mean, it's a poor job by Dak, you know, which comes from frustration. So my hat's off to Joe Barry and the defense. Great call, great play. And once you get, like I said, a quarterback and their star receiver frustrated, that's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, he thought Savage was clearly on 3 and Brandon Cooks, and he just kind of pops right on over. Obviously, a big reason for the Packers' success in this game was the way they were able to run the football. So this was one of the 3 touchdown runs by Aaron Jones. Just tell me what you see from the offensive line and Aaron Jones and how they were able to have so much success.
Okay, once again, they're in doubles. They motion to trips. Let me just take a look here. It's just an off-tackle play. Great eyes by Aaron Jones. Just great eyes, great patience. Let's look at the tight view. It's just an off-tackle play to the left, simple play, combination blocking. You just see how they combo this up. It's nice. It's just the defense over pursues. They do the offensive line does a great what we call washing it down. It's just let the defenders take themselves out of the play. Not so much push them. It's cover them up, let your back see the hole. Great cut back by Aaron Jones, and can't beat that from the 9-yard line.
I really like what DeGuara does here as well, because I think that's kind of the key block that they're asking him to do a lot here against Micah Parsons, and he's the one who opens up that cutback lane.
That's a staple, and the nice thing is they didn't have to motion to it. Just a great job. You don't have to blow him up. A stalemate works. He decides to cut him here, and Parsons on that play is responsible for cutback. And I don't know. I mean, if you look at him looking at the ref, why are you looking at the ref? You just got cut. Just a great job, but you can see, Gabe, just throughout the game, the frustration in the Dallas team. Like that's clearly Micah Parsons being frustrated by what the Packers are doing. They took care of business, and it's great to see.
All right. And then the final play I want to take a look at here, because this is the icing on the cake, but you need to explain to me how in the NFL somebody gets this wide open. This is the Musgrave touchdown. I want to know how you get this wide open in the NFL. It was the most that anybody has been open all season long.
Well, I believe it's a misdirection play. It's not a full boot. You got the play action pass. It's kind of a half boot. And Dallas thinks that it's going to be a boot, which they run a lot. And all it is a throwback. This is one of those plays that the coaching staff saw on tape before this game. It's a specialized play. I mean, you might as well call it a trick play. And Gabe, you know where this play came from?
Where?
Pretty much me running the wrong route years ago where I was wide open when it was – I thought it was wide corner when it was actually wide deep cross. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ball. I got yelled at because I ran the wrong route. But that's where it stems from. It's a trick play, worked out, perfect call, great timing, executed perfectly, and That's why he was so wide open.
Yeah, they just completely lose him. Is that you see the two linebackers going, to Jordan Love's left, and that just leaves
Yeah.
Musgrave wide open all the way on
Gabe,
the
that's one of
backside.
those plays too. That's one of those plays, and if you look, DeGuara comes across the formation to cut the defensive end. That's one of those plays that you have to set up. So you run it once, you run it twice, and then you come out the back door with a boot, and it was the perfect call at the perfect time. But that play was set up by the run earlier in the game.
Well, we got one more play I'm going to look at here, big guy, because the last time the Packers went to San Francisco as big underdogs in the divisional round, you did this. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happens here in San Francisco.
I can tell you what it was. This play is called Rattler, two-jet Rattler, where if you look, I don't know if you have a wide copy of it, but I believe
I don't.
Robert.
This is just the TV. This is the TV, but I think
Okay.
that in the replay, they show a pretty good pick set by Robert for you.
Robert Brooks takes it to the post, and my job is to cut right off of his butt and take it to the corner. Great call by Mike. If you watch, I'll cut right off of Robert's butt, and it's really a pick play where they pick McDonald. And, yeah, it'd be nice to see some of that on Saturday night, that's for sure.
Certainly some good memories there for you as well. That was really the game that I think kind of kicked off your guys' confidence in what started to be a Super Bowl championship the next year. And who knows, maybe the Packers can get some of that confidence this upcoming weekend in San Francisco as well. Appreciate it, big guy.
All right, see you, Gabe.